On August 29, 2026, a lunar eclipse will occur with the same pattern we saw in 1951 and 1976, and in each of those periods shocking events took place, events that stunned humanity and remained in collective memory for a very long time. We will briefly revisit some of them today, almost as a visualization of what could unfold in our own time. Overall, the eclipse corridor will begin producing its effects roughly from the second half of July through early October 2026. But pay special attention to the events around August 29, 2026. So, what is dangerous about this configuration? The lunar eclipse creates a full yacht with Neptune and Pluto. A yacht, also known as the finger of God, is an incredibly heavy configuration and probably one of the most difficult combinations in astrology. By the way, if you would like to receive a personal forecast or resolution of your own situation, there will be a link in the description of this video to my website where you can choose the reading that suits you. So, when a yacht involves Neptune and Pluto, the planet of the underworld, destruction and catastrophe, and all of this is triggered by an eclipse, it becomes extremely fateful. The first thing this combination can bring is danger connected to radiation and technological disasters. We see the planets of nature, toxicity, hidden processes, and catastrophe mixing together. But to strengthen this point, let's look at what happened in the past when a similar yacht appeared. For example, let's go back to December 15, 1976, when the tanker Argo Merchant ran aground near Nantucket, Massachusetts. Almost 8 million gallons of heavy fuel oil spilled into the ocean. At that time, it became the largest oil spill in US history, and it was after this disaster that NAOA organized a systematic response to oil catastrophes for the first time. In other words, an event occurred that forced an entire industry to rethink what it even means to be prepared and what it means to be safe. For the second example, let's go back to September 26, 1976, to southern Italy, to the city of Manfredonia. At a petrochemical plant, an ammonia column exploded and 39 tons of arsenic compounds were released into the atmosphere. A toxic cloud covered a city of about 50,000 people. Animals died, people were hospitalized. So far, we have looked at events that happen specifically during eclipses with this same kind of yacht, but we need to clarify something. The period around August 29th is one of the strongest pressure points of the yacht involving Neptune and Pluto, but there will not be only one such pressure point. The yacht between Neptune and Pluto can form from time to time until 2032, and that means everything we are discussing in this video may have a much longer effect or may unfold at some point between now and 2032. So let's look at previous cycles of this same yacht to support the theme of technological and radiation-related disasters. On March 28, 1979, the 3 Mile Island accident occurred. It was a partial reactor meltdown at a nuclear power plant in Pennsylvania, and is still considered the most serious accident at a commercial nuclear power plant in US history. No physical harm to public health was officially recorded because the radioactive release was minimal. But the important point is this: the country saw that the impossible was possible. And now the second example, the Soviet Union, the Teka River in the period from 1949 to 1952. The Mayak plant in the Ural region dumped radioactive waste directly into the river for years. No warnings, no evacuation, but there was a slow and systematic poisoning of water, soil and people. Then the second thing this kind of yacht can bring is natural disasters and catastrophes in general, especially events that are very heavy for humanity. In 1951, in New Guinea, Mount Lamington erupted. The eruption killed around 3,000 people in a matter of minutes. The second example, on April 24, 1951, in Yokohama, Japan, a train caught a broken overhead power line. This caused a short circuit which immediately triggered a fire. As a result of this historical event, 106 people died and 92 were injured. There were events that happened directly during the eclipse period with this kind of yacht. Now let's look at the wider period of those years when the yacht still remained active, not because of eclipses, but in a way similar to what may happen in our time up to 2032. In August 1975, in China, Henan province, Typhoon Nina dropped nearly a year's worth of rainfall in a single day. The Bankia Dam failed, and then 62 more dams collapsed one after another like dominoes. A wall of water 10 kilometers wide swept away villages. As a result of this historical disaster, the total death toll is estimated at between 170,000 and 240,000 people. Afterward, the catastrophe was kept secret for 30 years. Less than a year later, on July 28, 1976, in Tangshan, China, a magnitude 7.5 earthquake almost wiped an industrial city off the map. The official death toll was 242,000 people. Some estimates go as high as 655,000. Britannica calls it one of the largest natural disasters in recorded history. As you can see, this planetary pattern brought incredible stress and events that still shock us even by the standards of our own time. Another important factor in this configuration is the planet connected with oil and liquid resources, and that can also include liquefied gas. In one of my previous videos, I said that the pressure around oil and gas prices should ease in June-July as much as it possibly can. That's what happened, but that doesn't cancel out the fact that afterward, especially in August and September, the situation may heat up again and even reach a new level. Oil and gas prices may jump again. This also points to accidents involving liquid natural resources such as liquefied gas or oil. So, the nearest peak of yacht energy is August 2026 and the period around August 2026. But at the same time, the yacht may continue forming periodically until 2032. During these periods, the probability of two things rises sharply. First, industrial collapse and natural catastrophes. Second, a resource crisis. Remember how in December 1976 there were two major tanker accidents in just 1 month. In 2026, August and September may become critical months for the energy sector. We are entering a period when humanity's margin of safety will be tested to the breaking point. Be prepared for the possibility that the old rules of safety may soon have to be rewritten.